people. I'm late. I'm so late. But I got a really good excuse for being late. However, I'll give you all a little opportunity to come on before I tell you, so I won't have to say it twice. Meanwhile, we're going to look at the flowers. We do have flowers. We have roses. You can see they're a little bit sort of brown around the edges, but there they are. Late season flowers. You know, they're a bit tattered, but they're still beautiful. These ones are a little bit fresher. This is the Wilhelm Rose. Nora, good morning, beautiful. Hello, Julian. Great to see you again. We've just been playing in the Unified. Okay, we've had our bump. That's it, the only camel that will make it into my garden. And see, we have a beautiful Compassion Rose. You'll just have to imagine the scent of this one. It's, oh yeah, really good. As roses go, it's got a beautiful scent. And we have, hang on, thorns, canes, but we have a little sweetheart rose here, which is just lovely. Morning, Trisha, great to see you. So, here's the cherry tree, which really is going to need pruning. And look, you can see that the leaves are just starting to turn. And it's, oh, I mean, listen to that. I just love the sound of a breeze and leaves. It's just one of the things that I love. And we have a single, you know, this is the time of single roses and things being a bit scruffy because, of course, my husband sprained his ankle, so he can't mow the lawns. There we go. But hey, things are slowing down anyway. There's the iceberg rose. Faye Island, it's beautiful to see you. We're out here doing the sporadic flowers that grow at this time of the year, enjoying the very lush long grass. I got to show you this. This is a violet. It's not got any flowers on it, but isn't the foliage just glorious? Anita, good morning. Patricia, yes, it is glorious. I just love this. I love foliage. You know, flowers are great, but they go away. Foliage is not quite forever. Kaya, good morning. Yeah, I am late today, and the reason why I'm late today, oh, clearly I'm going to show you the orchid of foliage. Isn't that fabulous? I just love this. And look, there's a big ceanothus over there that's going to burst into flower in spring, and you can see the cotinus is losing its leaves. Inga, it's great to see you. And why is there a big clump of grass that I've allowed to grow? It's because I'm going to move it somewhere else. I need grass in various places. So, you know, it's a scruffy time of year in the garden, but it's beautiful to be out here with you. And today, I want to talk about something I haven't talked about for ages because I've kind of forgotten about it because I don't do it very much anymore. She says, like, you know, used to practically be my religion, but I didn't know it. And I'm talking about effort. I'm talking about struggle. Good morning, Judith. Lovely to see you. Glad you could join us. I'm talking about effort and this very sort of sensible and intuitive and normal thing that we do, which is to try and to try hard and to work hard at healing and to work hard at getting better and to work hard at creating what we want in life. And what I about 3 years ago now, really started to learn from my first mentor, my mentor at the time, is that, and I understand this much more now, for example, if you want to build a business, you actually have to build the business the way you want it to be right at the beginning. And I always used to think, because this was the programming, and this was what people used to say, that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you bust your ass 24/7 for 2 years, and then after you've sort of got things off the ground and it's working, then you can stop busting your ass a little bit and have a bit of a better life. And I kind of grew up and absorbed somehow the ethic that was really how you lived life, that you worked hard and you went through difficult things and you did the effort and eventually it would get better. The only problem was it didn't. And I understand that now, because if you build a business, and this is a great example, and it's an important thing to realise. If you build a business and you're busting your ass when you start, your systems and your processes and the very way you think and feel about it is going to be full of busting your ass. Hi, Heather! Lovely to see you! Yay! It's going to be completely full of busting your ass. And the problem with that is that busting your ass is going to be built into the way you do business. So your business will grow, but it'll grow based upon you busting your ass. And 2 years later, when you're successful in making money, or however long it takes, it's not the guaranteed 2 years. That's another lie. Who the hell knows? You think, oh, I can relax by now. But the funny thing is, you're really used to busting your ass. You conditioned yourself into it. And also, you feel afraid that if you stop busting your ass, your business is going to collapse. Because you built your business on busting your ass. So you actually have to build a business right at the very beginning, the way you want it to be, when you're hugely successful. And so for me, that meant I had to think, so somehow this has to be spacious. This has to actually feel good for me. I have to want to show up and do things a certain way and, whatever. It has to be how I want it to be right now. And this was really strange because I was used to working hard. When I went to university, people do all kinds of things in the university. I went to university and I studied music and I practiced 4 hours a day. That was just what I did. I got to the practice rooms early on Monday morning and I blocked out my practice time, and that was just what I did. I ground my way through stuff. I was good. Hi, Laura. Great to see you, honey. I was really good at playing the violin, but, there was so much automatic assumption that you just have to work hard. And there was so much effort. Effort was just normal for me. I didn't understand that effort was going to only produce more effort. Desiree, great to see you. So, effort will not produce anything more than more of itself. Struggle is going to produce more struggle. Trying to heal yourself is going to produce more trying. So, we kind of have to let go and step back from things, and it's very synchronous that I'm talking about this today, because the reason I'm late is because I was deep in the unified field with some beautiful people creating, and actually it was all about this. It was all about this. And we were in a process, and when I looked up it was 2:45 instead of 22. So anyway, it's all good. So that's the first thing, is that if you think that you can work hard to get what you want in life, you may end up getting what you want in life, but you'll still be working hard and it'll be habitual and normal in who you are to keep working hard, so you're probably not going to really enjoy it that much because you'll still be working hard. So now, what makes it hard to let go, Judith? Thank you for moving me along from the problem to the solution, because, we can rave about the problem, but what the heck do you do about it? We do have to let go. But the thing about letting go, the first thing about letting go of something that you've been holding dear and holding tight and trying to make happen, is that you think, oh my God, if I stop trying, it's never going to happen. Right? The fact that I've been trying to be financially independent for the last 30 years and it hasn't worked somehow escapes my mind. It's like, I know this, but I just have to keep going because I'm afraid to stop, right? So it's hard to let go because we think if we let go, the house of cards is going to collapse. Here's the thing. What if it does? What if this whole thing that you've built with all this struggle and strain and effort and trying in it actually needs to fall the heck down so you can build something that's based upon flow and ease and, Yourself, it's beautiful to see you. Yeah, and it's very, very easy to try hard. Now, why do we do this? Remember, you're in survival if you're trying hard. Really, if you're feeling, oh my God, I've got to bust myself, I've got to run away from the lion, right? You're in stress. You're doing that, there's a predator chasing me thing, and I have to try hard because I need to survive. So if you find yourself in effort to some degree or another, you're in survival. Ashki, it's great to see you. You're in survival, which means that some part of you is saying, I'm in danger, I can't relax, I have to fight, or I have to flee, or I have to hide, and I have to try to survive. And you can't create ease or healing or wealth or anything really from that state, although people do. But, people get wealthy, but they're not happy. Or, that they're happy, but they're sick. Although, no, happy and sick don't generally go together. You see people who apparently have it all, and then you talk to the person who see how they're living their life, and you think, well, they've got it all, but they're still miserable, and they're not, they're unwell, right? Struggle only begets more struggle. So if you find yourself struggling, fighting, trying, forcing outcomes, wanting to control things, yes, it is a very vicious cycle, then you know that you are locked, you are stuck in the survival mode because you're feeling afraid, you're feeling threatened. And the way to get out of that, and it's not going to feel easy because your survival instinct is saying you need to fight, you need to try, you need to struggle. You actually have to notice that and realise that this is not actually true. I mean, last night, having eaten my dinner, my body was doing fear. And I knew my body was doing fear, and I understood why my body was doing fear. And there came a point when I thought, yeah, this really is my body doing fear. I know that I am not afraid about this thing that an hour ago my brain was saying, I'm afraid about this, 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 I'm afraid about this. My body was doing that because I was still playing an old program, and I am running a new program. And to be able to run the new program, I've got to be able to watch the old one running and not get caught up by it. And so it does start with paying attention. Oh my God, I'm trying so hard here. How am I trying hard? I've been doing it for so long, I don't even notice. Yeah, I've been taught to fight for yourself. Yes, it's the law of the jungle. I've got to survive. I've got to beat off the opposition or the threat or whatever. But that just creates more of it. It says, being taught to fight for yourself says, it's me or it's them. There's separation. We're not in this together. There's no support. It's either, the world is out to get me, and this is how I used to feel. The world is out to get me, and nobody will help me. Nobody will support me. Nobody gives a damn. It's just me against everything else. And that's separation. That's fear. Oh, my God. And, of course, if you feel that is true, notice I don't say believe. If you feel that is true, stuff whatever you're thinking in your mind, if you feel that that's true, you will always be on the defensive. And here's the thing. You won't be able to let anything good in. You can't. You can't receive good things from nowhere, or even when they come from places you understand. It's like, somebody gives you a gift and you think, oh, what are the strings? Or they give you some money. It's like, oh, shit, I owe them now. You just can't, because you're in this state of thinking it's me or the world. And everybody and everything is somehow a threat out there. So this is where the trying comes from, I think, is that we don't feel safe, and we have to fight to survive. And it's so pervasive, and it took me, I was talking about stepping out of struggle and out of effort for a long time, because I was doing it for a long time. I'm a lot better at it now. But the thing to do, really, is first to notice that you are struggling. To notice that you are struggling, and to have the idea that you don't need to keep doing it. Let me read this thing. The new structures we have to build must be based on trust and love and not on fear. Yes, quite right. And we, in many ways, I know there's scary shit going on around the planet, but there's also amazing shit going on around the planet. And there are new things, new paradigms coming in that are based on trust and love and not on fear. Because the old things, which were very law of the jungle based, are falling apart because nobody wants to do them anymore because they don't work, right? Okay, that's another big discussion. So, to notice when you are struggling, notice when you are trying, notice when it's not easy. How do you do that? Well, you do have to start paying attention. And perhaps by contrast, perhaps if you think, well, okay, how would it feel? Notice we've gone to frontal lobe question. What would it be like? Who would I be if I was living my life from a space of trusting myself and loving myself and knowing, feeling not knowing, feeling that despite everything I can see out there, which looks crazy, there is something deeper and more wonderful that's coordinating all of this, and that I trust and love that, and that greater mind trusts and loves me. How would it feel to live like that? How would it feel if I really knew that the things that I desire and want in life and need in life and all that are just going to come to me, and I can't see how? And that used to rip my undies so bad that I couldn't see how. But what if it was possible to actually feel safe, to trust the unknown, to trust the things that I can't see, that what I need and what I desire is just going to come to me? And it doesn't mean sitting on your ass, by the way. It doesn't mean sitting there saying, okay, I trust the unknown, I'm going to lie here and drink mint juleps. No. It means you take inspired and aligned action. And by that I mean, and there's a proviso about this, about trusting your gut. If you're in stress, if you're, the information you get from your feeling is really just going to be about keeping yourself safe and not necessarily be what you want. But assuming for the moment that you have ways to break that stress response and calm yourself down, to connect and really feel, this is what's right for me, that you actually get better at choosing what's right and real for you and saying no to the stuff that isn't. And that's the really interesting thing. When you start saying no to effort and you start saying no to things that don't feel like the dance. Yeah, movement's great, gets the energy flowing, right? It's awesome. So very quickly, when you start to think about coming out of effort, coming out of struggle, moving into trust and love, you realise that you have to start saying no to effort. And I don't mean saying no to taking action. I don't mean saying no to applying yourself. God, I'm one of the most dedicated, disciplined people I know. I am. It was the basis of my effort. So I got to work hard. Now that ability to dedicate myself to aligned action is really useful to me. But before it was just, I've got to do this work. I've got to do this work. I hate this work. This work is not interesting. I don't like this, but I have to do this to get paid, so I just have to do this. I had no idea that work was supposed to be enjoyable. What? This is work. You do that, you get paid a pittance, and you go home. And then you have some life on the weekend. That was what I used to think. It's all on you. So I had to say no to that. I had to realise that I wasn't going to accept that anymore. You have to realise things that you have just bought into and decided were true, and decide if actually you want it to be true for you, and if you don't want it to be true for you, to say no. Put your effort into saying no to the things you don't want, rather, and then you find yourself going into the habitual thing that you've done for 20 years because it's expected of you, or because, you made it, whatever, for whatever reason, you're just doing this thing. You think, I hate doing this thing. Hang on a minute. I'm doing something I hate. Why am I doing this? What? What am I doing this for? Whoa! And you stop and you notice that you are automatically, habitually doing something that is just so not what you want to do. And you think, what? Okay. And some of those things you can just immediately drop because you think, nobody cares if I stop doing this. And sometimes you have to think, well, somebody's going to care, but too bad. And some of those things you can't just drop because there's all this other stuff hanging off them, and you have to start working your way through, well, who would I be if it was different, and how would that work out practically in life? And yeah. So yes and no, alignment, choosing struggle or choosing ease, choosing what's right for you or choosing what's not right for you. And saying no is choosing yourself. So saying no is not bad. Saying no is real good. Saying no to overthinking, yeah. And I know what you mean, Nesreen. When you say overthinking, you mean that the thing that goes round and round and round and round in your head and goes nowhere. That's those circular thoughts that are all around sad, upset, stressed, angry, bitter, whatever feelings, and they just go nowhere. Definitely no to that. That's a high beta brain state. You want to do something to break that and get into something calmer and quieter. It's just a whole lot more comfortable. You're so right. No to that, all right. So you start paying attention, you start saying yes and you start saying no. And you say no a lot more than you say yes. That's the other thing, is just realise when you start doing this, you're going to say no way more than you say yes. I spent about 6 months saying no to a whole bunch of stuff. Because I drew a line in the sand at the end of 2017 when something sort of fell over with a loud crash and said, no, I'm not doing another bloody thing until I find something that actually resonates for me. And, it was a process to get to there. And then when I really got a yes, that was when I connected with my mentor in May 20, I don't know, I lost track of the year, 2017, I think. And it was a real yes. And it was, it was life-changing. It was really important. How do you know that is healthy? Well, maybe we'll talk about that on Monday. But in short, let me just check how much time I got, Nora. Oh, a minute. How do you know if your no is healthy? Oh, and I'm saying this, I'm thinking, you do know. You struggle with it because of, I get the feeling you struggle with it because of what you think other people will think. And some of them it's like, I don't really care. And other people, maybe it's family or someone that's close to you or someone that matters or a boss at work or something. You're not comfortable with your no. Because it can be pretty scary to say no when people are used to you saying yes. Or even when you are used to you saying yes. And there are ideas that you have in your head, this will be big for somebody, that good people, if I'm a good person, I do this. It's the right thing to do. I always do this. All of this stuff is going to come up and you've got to pay attention. So your no is healthy. You know it, Nora. You're just not very comfortable with it. And that's a common thing. It's like, oh my God, I've been saying yes to this for so long. Who am I if I say no? Does it mean I'm bad? Does it mean I'm wrong? Am I hurting somebody if I say no? And we feel so responsible for other people's feelings. And we're not, by the way. You can't make anybody feel anything. So that, I think we'll talk about that on Monday. It's like, really, can I hurt somebody? I mean, if I stick a knife in their back here, but, by saying no, does it hurt people? Oh God, we have to say no most of the time, Judith. My no is really refined and it comes out a lot. And it has to. Because if I don't, I compromise myself. I'm no use to anybody. Oh yeah, choosing yourself over other things or other people. Yes! That's when you start moving into power. So, we'll talk about that on Monday. It's great. I know I'm out of time. I'm late. Whatever. Beautiful weekend to you. Look out for Resonant Replays. They're going to kick ass. And I will see you on Sunday, Monday with very much love. Bye-bye.